Hello and welcome to episode 28 of the Bittersweet Unconfidence podcast. Before I start this episode, I just want to talk about the situation that is right now happening in Syria and in Turkey. And I just want to offer my deepest condolences to all the people who lost loved ones, who are worried about their loved ones, who have no news about their families or their friends. And it's just heartbreaking that this happened to these people, because I feel like it's very unfair. They've already been through so much the last 10, 12 years. And it's a natural disaster, so we can't, unfortunately, we can't blame anyone. We love to blame when it comes to something like this. It's just nature doing its thing. It's incredibly heartbreaking. It's been a very difficult couple of days for me, trying to maintain my productivity, even though in the back of my head, it's just very dark right now. And I just want to share something that I feel like is extremely hurtful, which is the fact that the donations that people have been doing on Instagram and or Facebook or whatever on social media, most of them are actually not going through to Syria because of the sanctions and because no one's allowed to go to Syria. It's just very fucking difficult to understand why politics has to be so nasty. Whether it's the Syrians not allowing or the sanctions not allowing. Why does politics fuck up humanity is something that I've been going back and forth with the last couple of days. I've been talking to people from Syria and also from Turkey, and the thing is, I have no words. I truly have no words. I'm just heartbroken, and I would kindly ask everyone to just pray for the families to get through this tough time. Pray for the people who lost their homes. And I want everyone who feels like they're ungrateful or feels like life is a bitch to just take a moment and appreciate what you have. No matter how fucking difficult your life is, no matter how bad you think you have it, I just want you to be grateful because you're here and you still have a possibility or an opportunity to make a change. There is hope. And appreciate life, because you have no idea when, how, why, where it could just end. Some people were sleeping when the earthquake happened and they didn't wake up. Some people were sleeping and they woke up dying. And we go on and we think about all the things that are not going well in life. I mean, in Vienna, at least, it's the city with the highest quality of life worldwide for the past, I think, 10 years straight, but also the unfriendliest city. And by living there for such a long time, I realized why people are always looking for something to complain about. Even though they have one of the best healthcare systems in the world, they have opportunities, they have jobs, they have a very beautiful city. We have so much. And I feel like the more you have, the less grateful you are. Why? Why are people who have almost nothing more grateful than people who have everything? Why? I truly can't understand this. And yeah, just take a moment and look around you, look at yourself, look at your life, and appreciate it. Even if it's hard, just appreciate it. Because at some point, the hard phase will be over. It's going to be beautiful again. So just make it beautiful from now on. It's not worth it. It's really not worth it. It's going to end. anytime. Just appreciate life. In this episode, I want to talk about how people always try to interfere in your life and always try to make decisions for you or think that they can help you make better decisions because they think that they know better. And by doing that, they do instill a lot of insecurities in us. So before we start, as usual, I'm Joe, and I hope you're not comfortable. But if you are, then let's get uncomfortable together. Hi. So, as I said in the introduction, it's been a difficult couple of days, and I honestly didn't know whether I was going to be able to do this episode or not, but I promised myself to do an episode a week, and I'm delivering on my promise to myself. And I actually want to talk about this because I feel like a lot of people suffer from insecurities that were instilled by other people and not by themselves. So I just want to share my findings because I was reflecting about it a lot, because I myself had a lot of insecurities, and I probably still have some that were instilled into me by people disagreeing with what I wanted to do, or telling me that it's not going to work, or that I need to do a different approach. So I'm going to share the points pretty quickly, so bear with me, listen to the entire episode, because I believe that there is something you might need out of it. So point number one is people will always try to interfere in your decisions. They will always try to give you their 2 cents. They always want to share their opinion or help you or whatever. And those people probably do it out of love. Because a person who doesn't give a shit about you wouldn't try to help you, wouldn't try to save you any pain. And for the person who's trying to give you their advice or make sure that you do something differently, for them, or what they think is they know better, and therefore they're giving you advice so you can avoid pain. So don't hold grudges. Don't feel insecure because a person told you that you're doing something wrong. It's okay. They love you. They care about you, and they want the best for you. So when a person tries to interfere in your decisions, it's mostly out of love. Sometimes it's purely out of ego, but we wouldn't let it affect us as much. But when it's someone we love, we feel like, holy shit, why don't they believe in me? I'm not good enough. I'm not going to make it. Maybe they're right and I should not follow my vision. Maybe I should adjust it according to what they said. And that's not the case. You don't need to do that. You really don't need to do that, but just appreciate that they're trying. This is point number one. Point number two is, nowadays we have access to so much information. It's incredible. It's like an ocean of information at the tip of our fingers whenever we need it. We can just Google stuff. We can open social media. We can read articles, blogs, or whatever. So everyone thinks that they know a lot about everything. And this is actually so sad, because back in the days, you couldn't have access to so much. So now whenever you say like, okay, I want to become a photographer, or I want to become a life coach, or I want to make a podcast, or I want to do YouTube, or whatever the fuck you want to do, whatever the fuck you want to study something, people always, when you tell them what you want to do or what you are doing, they give you their 2 cents. They try to tell you like, okay, well, I heard this, I read that, I did this, I did that, and I want you to do X, Y, and Z. The thing is, when you don't ask for it, and they still come with their advice, it's fine. They think they're right. Most of us think we're right. And this is something that I really want to address in this episode. Everyone is right and everyone is wrong at the same time. And when you think about that and you understand that, you realize that it's just us and our perception of whether someone is right or wrong. And for me now, I don't hold on to my opinions as if they were right. I hold on to my opinions because they're my opinions. But they're very elastic. They can change at any point. if I learn something that sounds better than what I know already, then I'm probably going to change my opinion. I don't need to fight with you over my opinion. So, because everyone has so much access to information, we all have adopted this thinking that we know everything. And everything you say, I know something about, and I'm going to share it with you, regardless of whether you want it or not. And we need to let our egos slide on this one. We don't need our egos to say, no, I'm right. And this gets us to point number 3. When someone is trying to help us by telling us that we are doing something wrong or we should do something differently, we go full defense, because we believe that we're right. But the thing is, it's our ego who doesn't want to admit that maybe this person knows better than me, or maybe this person has more experience in that area, or whatever. Our ego tells us we are the best and everyone else is fucked up. And if someone is trying to give me advice, who are you to tell me what to do? This is the first response that my ego gets. Who are you to give me anything? But then again, who am I to not receive any advice or receive any help? I'm a human being. I have opinions that are right and I have opinions that are wrong, objectively speaking, to society. But then again, we don't need to go full defense, because when we go defensive, this is when we get insulted, this is when we get offended, and this is when we actually feel hurt. And this is where insecurity kicks in, because we get defensive while we are talking to the person, but as soon as they leave or we leave, we're going to think about what they were saying, and we're going to be like, I don't want to admit that there may be right, or I don't want to adapt this because it's their idea, it's not mine. So our ego doesn't allow us to do that. We should just drop our egos when it comes to this. When someone's trying to give you advice or trying to help you, appreciate it. Take it. You can throw it in the fucking ocean for all I care, or for all the person cares. But when someone is trying to give you something, which brings us to point number 4, be open about it. Don't be closed-minded to receiving advice, because you might miss out on so much valuable information by not agreeing to see another person's point of view or another person's opinion. So when someone is offering their help or giving you advice, no matter how they do it, even if they tell you, hey, listen, you're wrong, and you should and you must do it this way, they don't control your decisions. At the end of the day, you're going to be the one who decides how you want to do something. But be open-minded and try to actually listen and get curious about why they think that you should do something in a certain way. Because they have an opinion and we don't allow them to completely share it with us, because we immediately go with, and I hate this so much, right? You tell someone something and the first thing they say is no, but. I hate this. Why do we need to start our answers with no? Why? Whenever I'm talking to a friend of mine or whatever, and I tell them something, which is my opinion, and they immediately go like, no, but you don't understand. It's okay. You don't have to start with this sentence, because this sentence literally means that you will not want to listen to me. Why am I even bothering? This is what I think as a person who's trying to help. And then again, I'm trying to help because I love the person. So it all comes back together. I wouldn't try too much if I didn't care too much. I wouldn't. I mean, I would, because I'm a life coach and it's literally my job to do that. But I'm talking as a person, I wouldn't. If you just block me the entire time, I'm not going to try. I'm going to stop trying after a while. And this is something that actually happened with a lot of close friends of mine, where they used to come to me and we used to have a chat, and I would be like, okay, in my opinion, maybe you should try doing that. Or what about you trying to see this way? And they immediately go like, no, but you don't understand. No, it's not that way. No, it's not that. Okay, fine. Like, okay, whatever. I'm not even gonna try anymore. So when someone is trying to help you, instead of going defensive and saying, no, you don't understand or whatever, say, okay, I hear you. Why do you think that this is a better approach for me? Get curious, because their answer might actually be so valuable. And if not, what did you lose? Time? Come on. You would have lost the exact amount of time with you saying no and trying to defend your point, but you will not gain any new knowledge. And so this way you have nothing to lose when you actually get curious and you actually try to understand why the other person thinks that there is a different approach that might be more suitable. Point number 5 is understanding that people interfere in our lives mostly out of love, as I said before. And we need to accept that it's okay to accept help. It's okay to receive help and advice. We don't like that. I understand. We think that we're powerful. We think that we can do everything on our own and we don't need help. Because when we become adults, we think, well, no one can tell me shit now. I need to figure it out on my own. And that's good. It's good because we're independent. But why do we shy away from the idea of asking for help? And why do we shy away from the idea of actually receiving it when someone is offering? When the person is literally sitting in front of you and trying to talk to you or give you advice or help you, it's okay. Take it. You know why? If you're not doing it for yourself and for the knowledge that you might gain, do it for the person. To make them feel valuable. To make them feel happy that they're actually being able to offer you help. Don't be selfish about it. When someone is trying to help you, make them feel valuable. Make them feel heard. It's all we want to do. It's all we want, actually. All I want is to be heard, to be valued when I'm having a conversation with the person I love. This is the only thing I want. So when I tell you something, take it. As I said, once you turn your back and you go, you can throw it in the ocean. You can stomp on it. You can pee on it. Doesn't matter. But do it for the other person. It's not always about you. It's not. Yes, in your life, yes. But when you're sitting with someone else, it's about a unity. It's about the other person as well. We don't need to be selfish when we're with other people. When you're pursuing your goals, okay, I'm a person who says, go, do it. Focus on yourself. Put yourself your number one responsibility. But that doesn't mean blocking off every other person who tries to tell you something that you don't want to hear. Being curious is being curious is one of the best traits you could ever have. Asking people why they think about a certain topic the way they do can open so many doors to knowledge. People who are not curious are people who have a fixed mindset and who don't want to learn more. Be curious. Ask. If someone doesn't agree with you, ask why they don't agree with you. Don't try to impose your opinion. It's like when two people of opposite religions clash, they would never try to understand the other person's perspective because they don't listen to each other. All they do is they talk. When the other person is talking, you're thinking about what you want to talk. That's bullshit. Listen. You might learn something. I'm not saying convert your religion, but you might understand why this person likes their religion the way they do. Instead of always trying to change people's opinions and going into discussions that cost you too much energy. Be curious. Try to have a conversation where both of you can learn from each other. We can always learn from every conversation we have, and I say that almost in every podcast episode I do. And I actually do learn in every fucking conversation I have with someone. Sometimes it's humongous lessons, but sometimes it's very tiny lessons. Embrace learning. Embrace differences. Trust me, ever since I've been living like this, I don't have discussions with people. I don't have fights. And that's good for me, for my mental well-being, for my internal calmness. I'm very happy because I don't have to fight with anyone about anything. I listen to their opinion and I share mine. But if I see that they're too defensive and they don't want to receive mine, I don't share it anymore. I just listen to theirs. And then when I go, it's fine. I still have mine with me. I may filter out some things that they said that were interesting, but that's about it. But that doesn't mean I gave up my opinion. If I don't fight you on your opinion because I want to tell you mine, that doesn't invalidate my opinion. So, it's not worth the fight for me. It's just not. I'm way too peaceful with myself, and I don't need to convince anyone of anything. And this is all I wanted to share in this episode. Again, please at least pray for the people who have suffered those events in the last couple of days. Donate if you can. If you can't, just pray for them. This is all we can do. Whether you're religious or not, prayer is still something you can do. Just wish them well. Wish them health. Wish them hope. Thank you all very much for listening to today's episode again. I love you all very, very much. And sometimes I feel like I'm too harsh on these episodes, but I'm not directly speaking to you. But those are just the way, this is just the way I have my thoughts about certain topics. And actually, I have to admit, a lot of the times when I get harsh, this is me reflecting with myself as well. So it was just I escalate sometimes. But I feel like we should just be more peaceful and loving and enjoy life as much as we can. Because as I said, you have no idea how long you're here. You have no idea when it's going to end. Be grateful for what you have. Be grateful for what you don't have, what you might still acquire. Be grateful that you're here and that your loved ones are here. That's all life is about. And it's temporary and it's too short to sit and worry about the future or dwell on the past. This saying of the present is literally a present, It is. Once you understand that you can always appreciate being present, life changes drastically. Love life, love each other. Don't spread hate, spread love instead. I think that's a better alternative. We cannot change the world in one day, but we can always try. I love you all. If you have any feedback, please let me know on Instagram or on TikTok, LinkedIn, YouTube, comment section, whatever. And make sure to hit the subscribe button. A lot of people who watch this podcast are not subscribed. And I mean, it's literally one button that you need to click, and that really can boost this podcast so I can deliver better episodes and hopefully also interview very interesting people for you. I have a lot in store for all of you. I'm working on a lot of amazing projects that I will be sharing in the upcoming weeks, so stay tuned. And let's enjoy the journey. See you all next week. Bye.